In this Terraria series, I am limited to only spend the duration of one in-game day on a world before it is permanently deleted and replaced with a new one, resetting any progress made in that time toward unlocking the final boss, the Moonlord. Defeating Moonlord in as few total worlds as possible is the ultimate goal of the series, and will need to be achieved on a fresh, unseeded world within 24 minutes of generation. Fortunately, stats, gear and items tied directly to the character persist between worlds, offering us a fighting chance at this challenge. The rules. This challenge must be completed single player, with no assistance from additional characters or players. All worlds must be generated from a random seed and be previously unexplored. However, the use of secret world seeds and adjusting world generation settings is permitted to promote the generation of certain world characteristics. All worlds must be set to Master Mode difficulty, or higher. The total duration of exploration time per world is limited to 15 minutes, which is the length of one in-game day. Following the initial defeat of the Wall of Flesh, this duration is extended by one in-game night, resulting in a 24-minute total. Once begun, a world may not be exited before the entire exploration time has elapsed. Any world left early will be forfeit and deleted alongside all progress obtained in that world. This includes progress tied directly to the character. This challenge is to be completed on a hardcore character. However, a checkpoint system will be utilised. Between each world, a backup of the player will be saved. In the event of death or a world forfeit, the closest backup will be restored and a new world generated. It is intended that a conscious effort is made to keep the number of worlds used to a minimum. Finally, actions that detract from or conflict with the overall spirit of the challenge should be avoided unless as a last resort. Okay, so as you can see, we're jumping right in, and I was hoping to start by seeing an ocean chest, but it looks like we'll have no such luck. The first priority is going to be dealing with how slow we are. Since with this challenge we are limited to 15 minutes per world, we won't be able to make any meaningful progress without first addressing the issue of early game movement and mobility. So we're going to begin by grabbing some wooden armour, and then the plan is to head out on the hunt for a few accessories. Now, since this is a Celebration Mark 10 world, this hunt should be a little bit easier than usual. For anyone unfamiliar, Celebration Mark 10 is one of the Terraria secret world seeds, which are a set of secret seeds that change the rules of world generation. So, whereas standard world seeds can be utilised to repeatedly generate the same world over and over again, worlds generated with a secret seed will always be unique, but follow specific rules associated with that seed. Celebration Mark 10, for example, was added as a celebration of Terraria's 10th birthday, and spawned us on a colourful beach full of a host of partying NPCs. And it ensures that the surface is always populated with an abundance of living wood trees like this one, which will make finding lots of wooden chests and early accessories far more convenient. Of all of the secret seeds, the Celebration seed definitely offers the kindest early game. Two of the nicest benefits: all lootable accessories are prefixed with one of the 4 best modifiers like menacing or warding, and underground houses are made of rainbow bricks, which means they are visible even when submerged in darkness. So, primarily, we are on the hunt for specifically 3 types of accessory, but we will wear anything for now because they all have +4s. The first type of accessory we're looking for is anything that offers a flat percentage speed boost. The one we'll probably be finding is the aglet. Secondly, we'll need a pair of Hermes boots, or any of the biome equivalent boots, which all grant the ability to run, so we get a nice big speed up and can utilise the acceleration mechanics. The third type of accessory we're on the hunt for is a double jump, but we need a good one, which is one of the main reasons we started on a celebration seed. As a consequence of our rule set, accessing the Goblin Tinkerer, particularly in the early game, is very difficult, and as such we probably won't be able to get our hands on rocket boots until we've at least defeated the Wall of Flesh. So, we're going to need a substitute to bolster our early game aerial mobility. We're going to need the Sandstorm in a bottle. These chests have not been sparking much joy yet. Oh, hang on. This does indeed spark joy. 1 out of 3 down. Right, so the sandstorm in a bottle. Ordinarily, it's about a 15% chance a world spawned has a pyramid. And it's a further 1 in 3 chance that the loot of that pyramid will be a sandstorm. Which are not good odds. Let's go. Deeper into a playthrough, you can secure one by purchasing it from the Princess NPC in a desert. I say deeper into a playthrough because she only spawns when all other NPCs are present, which means post-Plantera for the cyborg. Since I can't be bothered to wait that long, we're using the Celebration Seed. We already have a Princess NPC, she spawned when we did, plus we're guaranteed a pyramid. So, we're off to the desert, and look at that mobility. Granted, we drank a swiftness potion, but 5 minutes into a playthrough, this is pretty great. And hopefully these rubies will save us some time later when we need to make a grappling hook. One third of our way through our allotted time on this world, and things are definitely looking good. So, now seems like as good a time as any to address that there won't be a prominent showcase of skill in this playthrough. Instead, I want this challenge to test my knowledge and provoke my creativity. Cool. Anyway, one of the things I'm having the most fun on so far is the routing, and trying to cram as much efficiency into each 15 minutes that I can. It's going to be super interesting to see how many worlds it takes to complete this challenge, and to see if anyone wants to try and beat it in fewer. With this route, I'm also trying to prioritise consistency, like with using this seed to ensure the sandstorm in a bottle. Even without luck in our favour, we should still be able to rapidly make meaningful progress on each world. Also, please be aware that accurately placing the cursor is like kryptonite. Expect many misplays relating to this. So, one thing that I left out of the rules was glitches. They're not banned in this playthrough, but I also don't specifically plan on using any. I've mostly left the option open for the end of the playthrough. I'm still not entirely sure this challenge is even possible. Yoink. If I do end up using glitches, they won't be abused or used to trivialise core gameplay. Their purpose would be to save time or to remove tedium when dealing with content we've already proven capable of. So like, no using glitches to beat a boss I haven't already killed legitimately. Although, water duping is fair game. As cool as pumps are, I don't have that kind of effort in me. Maybe we'll get an infinite water bucket from fishing, which, regrettably, we won't be able to escape. We are going to need a demon conch for later game, and no doubt some other exclusives. We'll worry about that when we're better geared up. Aha! Okay, invent's still looking tidy for now. That will not last. So, this is a cheeky bonus. We're guaranteed a sandstorm, but we got lucky with the carpet. Just a really good mobility item to help us zip around on the surface. So, it may be worth pointing out that new Terraria worlds don't begin at the start of the day. Day starts at 4:30 AM, but a new world is set to 8:15 AM. And what this essentially means is that, although we only have the duration of one in-game day, we are still going to see 3 minutes and 45 seconds of nighttime, which will be useful for forcing the princess into a new house. We should probably go and explore a little whilst we wait for it to get here. Potions and their ingredients are going to be essential for the entire playthrough. Since I'm probably going to be rushing whilst looking at my invent, I just want to make sure I can't quick crash anything I want to keep. This is particularly important with how full our invent's going to be later on. Climbing claws are making this really awkward. And we haven't grabbed any water leaf yet. We're gonna need these when we go to hell. So, once this princess moves in, we're gonna be able to buy our sandstorm. And all that's gonna be left for us to do in this world after that will be survive until the clock runs out. Now, I'm not too keen on the idea of intentionally wasting time or just waiting out the clock. To me, this conflicts with the spirit of the challenge. Ooh, nighttime. Perfect. Right, let's go and get this double jump, and then we can worry about how to spend our remaining time. Thank you. I do not have enough money. I should have picked up all the duplicated accessories to sell. I thought the pyramid was going to have more gold laying around. Well, goodbye +4s. But on the positive, goodbye climbing claws. Ooh, and it looks like the game wants to give us a better weapon. There we are. Despite my lapse in planning, things are looking good. So, we have 2.5 minutes left, and the only useful thing we can do is try and explore. Now, we are 2 minutes from our first checkpoint, so we are risking our squishy little hardcore and all the progress we've made so far. But, again, I think it would be against the spirit of the challenge to just wait around in a safe area. Which does mean it would be against our final rule, so just don't die, innit? Does not spark joy. I don't think we're going to find much of any use in these last few minutes. And just in case you're wondering, I've kept the silver bars just in case we need to make silver bullets later. Iron bars are always useful, especially with how many mech summons we'll need to make. And I think everything else in my invent speaks for itself. The sunflower is in case we need to make an arena with a speed boost. I guess we gotta go out and face the zombies. A cave to explore is probably what we want. We might even be able to find a heart crystal. Oh, no, we're not doing corruption right now. An Eye of Cthulhu summon would definitely be worth finding, as we're going to need a shield eventually. And crafting our own summon sounds like a waste of time, so we'll need to try and get lucky with a chest. I think this is all we're managing on this world, unless there's anything we can craft. Maybe grab the chest? I got the chest in time. So, for this world, I didn't use a special seed, but I did set it to large. We won't be needing the crimson, What we do need is the desert for lots of fossils and an extractinator. And by the way, that puddle back there means there's probably a sky island or lake above us. Yeah, this puddle here would be the other side of it. We don't actually have any interest in sky islands at the moment though. What we need is a lot of fossil. So, now that our mobility is fixed, on this world we're looking at weapons and armour. Of course. All that effort and we get lucky anyway. I'm going to be kind of annoyed if this one has a sandstorm in it. Of course it does. And it's better than the one we brought. So, we do still have the carpet, and World 1 wasn't a waste, but that is just the game flexing. Okay, we want fossil armour, which I think most players just flat out ignore. And it isn't even strictly necessary to make our routing work. But it is more consistent than finding gold or platinum, and I just kind of like it. I think it's fun. However, unfortunately, this will be all we're doing for the rest of the world, so if you were treating this series as anything but second monitor content, thank you for your optimism, but it's time to put me in the background, where I belong. So, I've tried to label each of the worlds in this challenge with punny names, and usually quite obvious ones, but I thought I'd share them anyway. I've got this world down as Facilitating Progress, and apparently worms may be able to hit us. They are really annoying to dodge down here with how cramped it is. By the way, World 1 was called Pyramid Tier Upgrades. The desert is so different from how it used to be. 3Digit has done such an excellent job at diversifying their biomes. They all look and play so different from each other, but they all feel like they belong. Like, it's mad how claustrophobic I feel when I'm in the underground desert. All these passageways are so narrow, and every time you swing a pick or a sword, you set off a cactus or an egg sac. And there is just no room to dodge these damn worms. It would be hella cool if it wasn't so infuriating. Right, we're done here. Let's go find an extractinator. We can follow this bass buff. Hopefully, it's going to lead us to where we need to go. Finding a world with enough fossil and an extractinator is way harder than I thought it would be. Underground deserts seem to either be full of chests and passageways, or full of blocks and fossils. So the fact that this one is full of fossil, and we're sure there is a house somewhere nearby, is very promising. Also, the fact that disregarded worlds aren't making it into the video, so you seeing this definitely bodes well. Following an aura is definitely not the easiest way to locate a house. And a copper pickaxe is definitely one of the slowest ways to mine and traverse underground. It's not essential, but if we find an ancient chisel in this chest, when we finally get there, that's going to make me very happy. The same with a magic conch, probably even more so. Also, an encumbering stone would definitely help with indent management, so that'd be a nice secondary. Mining desert fossil is more annoying than mining other ores, since it has an extra mechanic. Basically, any fossil adjacent to a tile you're mining has a chance to be destroyed, and this chance is far higher if the fossil has nothing underneath it. So to minimise the chance of losing ore, you're supposed to mine in horizontal strips from top to bottom, or use bombs. But I don't currently have an excess of bombs or gel, so we're losing a lot of ore. We will need cobwebs later, and as I said before, the desert makes me not want to swing my pick. See what I mean? It feels so tight. This is how I feel everywhere when I'm trying to play the Not the Bees seed. Queen Bee can jump scare insta-kill you for misplacing a torch. No thank you. Okay, we are somehow still alive. That was awful, and we should have died. But we are alive, and we don't talk about it. Although, the +5 defense from the bass statue nearby is probably the reason we survived. Okay, let's go! Nothing useful in the box, but that's okay, we're still feeling extremely lucky. And we are definitely keeping this. So the rest of this world is just going to be looking around for more fossil. And maybe we get lucky with another chest or a heart crystal. Terraria does have a lot of crossovers, and has a lot of references to other games and media. Two of the biggest examples of that spring to mind are the Don't Starve and Dungeon Defenders crossovers. And I'm just trying to think of whatever outside elements could work really well in Terraria. Like, would a Binding of Isaac crossover work? I'm imagining a boss fight with Mum who's stomping down at you on the surface from heaven, and if you kill her she drops the tear cannon, which shoots the tear projectile from Isaac. Then you could also fight, let's say, the Heart and Isaac, and they could drop items to upgrade your tear cannon, and they could create little synergies with one another. If you made each boss only killable once and dropped 3 different types of item, that's 9 synergies between 2 bosses. I think that'd be kind of cool. Alternatively, I think it'd be really fun to get a dash item that's just a spin dash from Sonic. Or an Abyssal Whip item for Summoner. I would also kill to see some Pancake Day love in this game. My little dudes have been waiting 14 years to flip pancakes, and the entire time Red's been too busy trying to force us to place torches in biomes appropriately. You let me flip pancakes, then we'll talk. Definitely looking forward to weapons and armor upgrades. Combat is currently very painful. Fossil will be a really nice jump up. After that we should have full Molten by the 1 hour mark. Could be sooner if we're planning on dynamiting Wall of Flesh, which I never plan to do. Something about it just kills me inside. I am very bad at dodging worms. I'm pretty sure we've been hit by every single one so far. I'm going to try not to die, but it is quite difficult. At least it's dead now. So, since its initial release in 2011, Terraria has done a pretty good job of making a name for itself. And to many, that name is 2D Minecraft. Which, to those who've sat and actually played the game for more than one sitting, is utterly baffling. But, I think I've figured it out. I think I've figured out why the common public doesn't refer to Minecraft as 3D Terraria, and why your grandma has heard of one but not the other. It's because of what happened in 2013, on September the 30th. Relogic's greatest misstep. They changed the furnace sprite. The furnaces used to look round and cosy, not sharp and lifeless. No word of a lie, the primary reason I purchased this game at all was because of how the round furnaces made me feel. And because Mum said I could. I don't know what it was about it, but the old sprite utterly captivated me. And it genuinely pains me a little to know that the new players will be forever robbed of that experience. I will never forget you, Round Furnace, even if no one else cares. I care. That may have seemed like a long and pointless tangent to most of you, but I needed to set it up now so that it makes sense in a few minutes' time when Round Furnace saves us from dying to a giant worm. It was subtle foreshadowing. Ooh, we finally found a heart crystal. This is why we keep exploring until the time is up. We need upgrades. Lots of upgrades. But I definitely don't want to die 1 minute before our checkpoint. It only takes one stray cactus to render the past 15 minutes meaningless. And I want to point out, our bird can set off a cactus if an enemy it's attacking is right next to one. Which can be very, very infuriating. No one wants to be one hit by the weakest minion in the game. Again. By the way, there's a trap down there. Not really sure if there's anything we can spend the next 10 seconds doing. Definitely not dying anyway. We could have explored this island if we had left earlier. Okay, so I've got this world listed as brain, go away. Plan is, we make our fossil armor, then we head off to fight the brain of Cthulhu. And after that, we can finally craft a pickaxe that doesn't take 10 seconds to mine dirt. Then, we grab enough obsidian to craft molten armor, and we can craft a pickaxe that you've dreamed about since you were a little babby. With the extractinator, we're just looking for sturdy fossils and rubies. A bit of money isn't too bad, but everything else is basically useless. At best we could get 15 diamonds, which seems a lot less plausible than 4 more rubies. I've chosen to fight the Brain of Cthulhu instead of the Eater of Worlds, mostly because the Underground Crimson generates with far more space than the Underground Corruption. And because I hate fighting worms in this game. They suck. I also think that the Crimson offers superior early game upgrades, and is easier to negotiate for mobs. It helps that there are no worms. Corruption, with its giant chasms, is far more annoying to traverse in the early game with an early game character. But it does make up for this by being far superior once you enter hard mode. The Dart Rifle is superior to the Dart Pistol, Cursed Flame is superior to Ica, and the Scourge of the Corruptor is far superior to Vampire Knives. There we go. I think we just quadrupled our defense, and we can finally actually stand up to mobs. Right, let's go look for the Crimson. So, in any other playthrough, or challenge run, I tend to ban world hopping, and fishing for otherwise obtainable unique items. Not because I think that it's cheating, but because I feel that it removes from the unique challenge that the limitation of each individual world brings. And that was the inspiration for this challenge. Not having each character restricted to one world is one of Terraria's more unique mechanics, and I've been neglecting it since release. But now I get to put it to the test, and I'm super excited for that. I think I have some pretty neat ideas on how to utilise all the unique seeds we have access to. And another floating island that we cannot reach. So, although we do now have a decent weapon, we really didn't get to craft as many knives as I'd have liked. We're going to need to be sparing with our usage of these, especially since we're going to need most of them for Brian. Oh. Okay, armor for the win. We just need to move fast and hope that mobs don't get a chance to spawn. We will need some flat ground to fight on once we get down there, and then, hopefully, there's 3 easily accessible Crimson Hearts for us to break. I'm not at all worried about the actual fight. These knives are going to absolutely shred. Okay, we've got some easily accessible hearts. That's perfect. I'm trying to think if there's any loot that we actually need from them. We're guaranteed an Undertaker, so we get Arms Dealer if we ever need one. And a Panic Necklace could be cool, whilst we still have so many empty accessory slots. And I wouldn't mind a Rotted Fork. It won't be good for long, but I'd still like one now. Sod off, worm. That felt quite satisfying. I like the idea of the glowing heart, but in practice it's pretty naff. Oh, you tiny bugger. It's probably worth warning you. I am going to choose this fight and leave halfway through. This gear owns Phase 1, but the lack of knockback makes it useless for Phase 2. If they weren't so annoying to obtain, these bone knives would make a fairly solid option throughout all of pre-hard mode. They'd be able to pierce past the hungry, so I'd imagine they'd be pretty good against Wall of Flesh. Not that we're looking for a weapon to use against Wall of Flesh. I already have a plan for that. Okay, looks like we're finishing up here. Next up, we need to grab some obsidian, and then, in the following world, we're off to hell.